Aussie, Aussie, Aussie is right. It is about that time. I'm your host with the most time on his hands. Back on time. It's Thomas Tipple, FF, and with me, as always, is my mate all the way around the world into tomorrow. It's Tom_Lee92 here today with the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast presenting the Fantasy Walkabout. Big day in the fantasy world today. It was cut day. The one thing I want to say before we really roll into anything important is that it is cut day. And the significance of this is that a lot of people are getting let go today from their dream job that they will never have another opportunity to partake in. And there's a sadness to this day that I think we have to remember. I know I've seen people today tagging players, adding players, just being the absolute worst kind of humans, and it makes me sad. Just remember that there will come a time where somebody is going to want or try to replace you, and if it happens, someone in your office, warehouse, wherever is going to celebrate you losing that job. So remember, it'll come back at some point. Let's just be kind people and you know, remember
there's a human side to all this. Yeah.
Right. I know it's fantasy football, but this is real life to some people. What up, Z2? My main man here. Learning a lot from this, from that man right there. Learning a lot lately from Z2. Happy to have met Z2 on here. He's one of those people that, you know, definitely has no trouble helping others improve on their own skills. So you should be following at Z2 Fantasy 100%. Tom Lee, I mean, last week we talked about some probabilities of some of these players being gone. Sure enough, it happened. We're going to talk about my favorite call from last week. But before we do that, if you are new to the gimmick, new to the brand, missed a few things, last week we announced that we will be giving away an Antonio Gibson rookie card. You had to follow a couple of things. Big love to you, mate. 100%. You're beautiful. You had to do a couple of things. You had to comment with why you were the biggest Antonio Gibson fan. You had to be following us, and one person stuck out amongst the candidates to winning the card. The card has been shipped to me. I was just had to remind myself of that, Tom Lee. I was going to tell you to hold it up, but I was like, oh no, he shipped it to me. Yeah, from whatever. So the winner of the Antonio Gibbs giveaway is at WhatGibbsFF with his call of drafting Gibbs in his rookie season. He took some flack for it. There's a big discussion. He's been a big supporter of Antonio Gibson. Yeah. So big ups, a big congratulations to What Gibbs FF. Drop him a follow. I will be getting in contact with you for your information so we can send you the next card. Tom Lee, can you remember which card you sent me that would be next?
Next up, we've got a couple of different options.
Okay. Let's hear them.
What did we send? So
I put him on the spot now. He didn't know he had to know.
No, I did know that I had to know. It's another rookie card. We've got.
Oh,
what did I send you? Is it T. Higgins? I think we sent you a T. Higgins one.
Okay, well, we're gonna guess that it's T. Higgins. Look, we're gonna put a video out and announce it 100%. Again, they're in transit, but it will.
Yeah, they're on their way to you.
Yeah, exactly. And then after that, it'll be a little bit more regulated. But look, I can't tell what's in the box, but most likely it will be a T. Higgins giveaway. We will re-announce this on the Friday show. Hopefully they're here by then on the Friday Full Tilt Dynasty podcast this week. We'll announce the next giveaway, and then we'll do that again on Tuesday the following week. So on, so on and so forth.
Good.
Yeah. That's not the only giveaway we're going to do. We're not just doing the cards. We're going to have a few more, but we're going to start with that and see where it goes, see where it takes us. Another thing is that, look, we like to branch out and we like to have, multiple sources, multiple shows and connections. And one of the ones that we've made recently that I'm very happy to have reached out to was What's the Spread? This is a college Big 10, Big East, Big West podcast that gives you the spreads, wins, unders, scores, pushes, all stuff that I knew nothing about. Lucked out getting into a league with these gentlemen last year before, I knew anything about anything or thought that I knew anything about anything. And you know what? As we're talking right now, we are working on having them on the show every week to give us their iron pipe lock of the week.
Yeah,
their locks of the week in the Big East, Big West. They do it every week on the show. We're going to have them announce it on our show, and then we're going to talk about it on the Walkabout. We are in talks with that right now, so shout out to them. Just a great group of folks, and you should definitely be going and listening to What's the Spread. 100% you should be listening. Get your Big East lead pipe lock. Sorry. I knew I was going to blow that. That's host. That's the host right there. And look, we're working it out right now. I knew I was going to screw that up. Damn. Look, no one's perfect over here. Luckily, they can't cut me from a company I helped start. Without majority vote anyway. Look, the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast likes to do things a little bit differently, and we like to do it a little bit differently over here too. Look, the news, you're going to hear it. You've probably already seen it just scattered all across the news and the timelines and the websites and the videos and the YouTubes. So we like to do this thing called Do We Give a Shit? We're going to talk about a little bit of the news, and then we're going to talk about whether or not we care, or as I like to say, give a shit about the news that has transpired. And if we do, we'll talk about it for just a brief minute. So we're just going to run down a little bit of the news here. J.K. Dobbins gets hurt. That one's really tough. David Johnson's on the trade block. Irv Smith to miss the start of the season. And Evan Ingram's calf. Do we care about any of this aside from, look?
There's one. Yeah.
I obviously care that J.K. Dobbins got hurt. Okay? I'm not trying to shit on it. But I've seen everything from Gus Edwards as a bona fide RB1 to Justice Hill is going to be a playable RB2.
Yeah.
And all the stuff in between. Gus Edwards is going to probably be an RB2 somewhere. Outside of that, I have no idea where to rank him or this offense. I'd be shocked if they didn't go and get someone that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
But look, just don't overreact to Gus Edwards. Overreact to J.K. Dobbins. How about you? Do you care?
I think that's the thing, right? Is the time to react has sort of been and gone. So if you want a hot take on it, you can go anywhere on the Bird app and find someone's opinion about what's going to happen with Gus Edwards. All we know is that Gus Edwards takes over the role for now, unless they bring in someone amazing to replace him, which they won't. If you missed your chance to pick up Tyson Williams or Justice Hill, feel free to go and slide him onto your dynasty roster. That's fine. Wouldn't be spending a lot of money on either of those to pick up right now, but if they're still there on the waivers, absolutely do yourself a service.
To be fair, most people who have had Justice Hill have been holding on for this opportunity just to be like,
yeah, exactly. They want that victory lap. So the real sadness is we've lost another sophomore running back.
Oh my God, I know.
Like this was the crop. Those 5 and 6 with Antonio Gibson coming out from the 2020 class were amazing on tape, amazing on field, and looking like being the future.
Protect Antonio Gibson at all costs.
Yeah, so to have
My
lost 2 of them
God.
already before this year is a bit of a kick in the teeth. But
And then
yeah,
with
apart from
Ethan
that,
going
it's
down, this
yeah,
might be the
exactly.
worst. This might be the worst running back destruction of
Yeah,
depth charts that fantasy players have had to experience in a while in the
before the season
preseason.
started. Yeah,
Just off the top of my head, I don't remember losing 3
like hot popular
premier,
players. Yeah,
premier, young,
and
super talented, high draft capital running backs,
I think that's what hurts the
walked
most.
into these roles.
A lot of people have been going out of their way to acquire shares of these guys, and that's really what hurts the most
Yeah.
because you've put a lot of faith on a lot of emphasis on them this season. So that's why we care. It's just disheartening and saddening, but there's not really much to overreact with right now if you've already missed your opportunity to pick up either of those 2 guys. David Johnson on the trade block? Yeah, cool. If he goes to Atlanta, I'm more interested. We'll get to that a little bit later on, but yeah. There's something
Other than
there.
that,
I like that.
I don't care about most of the other stuff here. We'll talk about most of it in another spot, but
we'll get onto it.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. We'll move on here. Look, as I try to cut some time away because I'm trying to find the old sheet that I need here. There we go. Look, every week we sit down and we talk about things that shits us to tears. And that is something that just drives us nuts, frustrates us, makes us crazy. It's one of the Aussie slangs we've learned that I have just latched onto.
Yeah.
And look, this week, Tom Lee, if you don't mind,
it's all yours, buddy. Yep.
I'm going to handle the shits me to tears this week. Look, I understand as people that puts ourselves out there as analysts and content creators and podcasters and people with opinions, and we scream into the Twitterverse, daily with our opinions, and we're right and you're wrong, and my way's the only way, and screw you. Nah, fuck you, buddy. Like, that's not, I get that that's the game, right? But it shits me to tears when somebody sends me a message talking down to or negatively, and I know this happens to everyone, right? But this one really stood out. Bothers me when they take a tweet that you've put out, they send it to you like you don't know you tweeted it.
Yep, just a little reminder.
And tell you that you're 100,000% bona fide wrong when what they're talking about had nothing to do with the tweet that you sent out. They saw the tweet, they saw the video, or they saw the picture, or they see the content that's in that tweet or in that message.
Yep.
They see it and go, this is actually what he meant. And they send it to you and they argue about that thing. And then when you meet their points with counterpoints that make sense, the conversation goes in circles. It's an argument. And then again, you're talked down to for that. I get that Twitter is a free app. And could I have handled it differently? Sure. Could I not have been a sarcastic asshole after, I don't know, the 5th reply? Maybe.
Probably not.
I maybe could have, but I mean, I had to take the piss out of it a little bit. I had to get something out of the
end the cycle
exchange.
somehow. Yeah.
It shits me to tears that this happens, and I know it happens to a lot of people. I don't do this. I definitely will never do this. It just shits me to tears that it happens, man, and it sucks. And unfortunately, it's unfortunate that I will no longer talk to this person.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
That's it. We were talking about the human side of cut day, right? And this is the same thing on the Bird app. Is people are putting time and effort in to give you their perspective. And yes, some are more aggressive and some are more in your face. But it's not for you to say, you suck, this is not good, you're rubbish, blah, blah, blah. if you have a difference of opinion, by all means, give your difference of opinion, show why. Fantastic. That's what this is about. Have different opinions. That's what makes this industry so fantastic. But to go and punch down on someone trying to put hard work in and give value and content to those who are interested for it, you choose to take it or you don't. It's like going out of your way to try and make a point of something because someone's trying to put effort in. It's just crude and unnecessary. So, again, it's easy to block these people, but it's a shame that it happens as much as it does.
I didn't.
And we need to be better.
I didn't hit the block button. I didn't even hit the mute button.
The door's ajar.
It was just one of those things where it was like, hey, like don't.
Yeah.
I saw that I was unfollowed, and I said, okay, that's fine.
Yep.
It's not something I really check for. I don't really look. I don't really care. It was just kind of pointed out to me.
Stood out.
Okay.
Yep.
And look, man, just it shits me to tears that we have to have these battles in a space where we're just trying to have a little bit of fun and take our minds off of some of the dreadful, horrific things happening in the real world. But hopefully with the season moving forward, we won't have to deal with it as much. Look, I had to get that out. I had that bottled up for a little while. So that's what shits me to tears this week. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get down to It's Cut Day. And we're going to talk about some of the players that we noted that were let go. And I know there was 1,000, and we're not going to get into all of the details of what's happening. That's not what we do here. We're going to run it down and just give an opinion or two and then move it along, because we don't want to be here for 4 hours. You don't want to listen to us for 4 hours, and we want you to come back and not throw it into our DMs. Okay, we're going to be right back. Hey, Tom Lee. We're sitting here. We like to do our own tiers, and we like to, talk in our Slack account about who's right and who's wrong, and rip on Billy for wanting to draft Eric Ebron last year, or, really
plenty of other takes.
Exactly. We're going to put our money where our mouth is. But you know where you can really put your money where your mouth is? And that's Thrive. The Full Tilt Dynasty podcast is proud to partner with Thrive Fantasy. With the regular season approaching, no place is better for in-season prop bets than Thrive. You can use promo code FULLTILT, all caps, FULLTILT, for a deposit match up to $100. This isn't $5, this isn't $10, this isn't a $15. They'll match you up to $100. That is a free $100 if you go to Thrive Fantasy and use promo code FULLTILT, capital FULLTILT. And hey, tell them Tommy sent you. Maybe they'll give you a little over-the-counter discount, if you know what I'm saying. Go to Thrive Fantasy, get your free $100. Use the promo code. It helps us out. It's going to help you out. And you can also follow at FF_RTDB for his DFS takes and help you win just a little bit more money. Make use of that free $100. And that is at Thrive Fantasy. You know what else we can do, Tom Lee? We can talk about some people that got cut. And we're going to keep it as humane as possible.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, fuck you, Miami Dolphins. All off season, I have been pounding the table that Jared Dokes is a good football player. All right? And you waddle out fucking Brown to get 2 yards of carry, to have stone hands because he can pass block when we need him. Blah, 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 blah. Jared Dokes can do everything that Brown can do and more, and is younger and is just better. This really pisses me off. I understand that he's probably a candidate for the practice squad. Brown shouldn't be on the football field. He is horrific. But it is very much like NFL teams. They don't care about our fantasy guys. They don't care about our deep, late draft podcast favorite fucking sleeper.
Yep.
They don't care. They want the vet on the roster, right? Because if Gaskin goes down, we have to have a guy that can tote the rock 22 times into the A gap. Bah! God, it's so annoying. I just wanted to get that out.
Yeah, who'd have thought Jared Dokes would be the hottest take? Yeah.
I was literally saying after he scored 2 touchdowns this weekend to Tom Lee, I was like,
what else could he do?
Get some Jared Doak stuff because we're going to talk about him as a lock to make this roster. Nope. Fuck. Brutal. Lucky I didn't put my money where my mouth was at Thrive Fantasy for that one.
No.
That's not good. Look, obviously, that, we like to have a little bit of fun. Like, rip to Chase Vernon's favorite Bay, Colin Johnson in Jacksonville. He was let go. Tyron Johnson let go with the charges. John Brown saw the writing on the wall. He asked for his release, and he got it. So wheels up to Brian Edwards, and maybe Henry Ruggs gets, proper usage, because the way they used him. You know what I hate in the NFL is they see, guy runs fast. He runs straight downfield. Throw deep to him. Not all fast guys are good to be used that way. It's what I liked seeing. I hope that the Vegas Raiders use Ruggs the way Miami had used Waddle in the preseason.
Yep.
That is money. Edwards is a better downfield player than Ruggs is. He just doesn't run in a straight line as fast. We all know how good running in a straight line is. Right, McCole Hardman? He's garbage.
Yeah. Turns out as a wide receiver, you do need to occasionally actually receive the ball, track it.
Yeah, you can ask Rashad Perriman about that, because his career is fucking done. He is done. Rashad Perriman, former first-round pick of the fucking Baltimore Ravens, couldn't stay in a wide receiver room full of thin air. Like, he couldn't do it. When there was no reports about the preseason yet or training camp, there was negative reports about Perriman. Like, no one was talking about anything. I think the one quote, and I wish I could remember it, and I know you shouldn't quote things if you don't have the source. I get it. I got it. I heard you. I don't care. What I remember seeing and reading was that Rashad Perriman looks like a guy signing 1-year deals to stay in the NFL. And when preseason hasn't even started yet, and that's what you're hearing, you're gonna have a bad time. Look, he was a 2019 late season darling for anyone that picked him up in waiver wires. It wasn't Adam in the home league. Shout out to you, buddy. Shout out Sid for picking him up and making it to the finals. He carried people. He was electric with Jameis Winston chucking the ball with no Godwin and everything. He caught everything, big games, multiple touchdowns, 25 plus PPR points. Out of the league a year and a bit later. Just awful. He's not a good player. I mean, also
good on him for getting himself that second chance,
Yeah, third chance, fourth chance. God, so bad. So bad. Gross. Reggie Bonifon, you can pour one out for him. Rodney Smith, pour one out. They'll probably not land somewhere.
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard firms as the running back too.
This one surprises me a little bit, okay? What Atlanta did at running back surprised me. Huntley, gone. My first trutherism, right? So I'm not I don't like to use the word truther, right? I mean, you don't either.
Nope.
My first player that I fell in love with for some stupid fucking reason in Dynasty was Donta Foreman.
Not a great one. Yeah.
Big, tough runner. He looked like Derrick Henry to me in a lot of ways. Yeah. And what happened? I think it was the Achilles for him. And it was done. What were you going to say there?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were going to.
No, yes. I mean, he reminded me a lot of, like you said, Derrick Henry. No. It fitted the scheme. So it's strange to see him drop. So, I mean, there's definitely an opening there. I know it's essentially Davis and then Ollison. Not much else to be had on that roster.
They cut Hawkins like a week earlier. They cut 3 running backs for a position. So it's like they're going with Mike
still
Davis.
Got Cordero Patterson to return punts. Yeah.
Yeah, so they've got Patterson, Davis, and Ollison. Like they're like, this is the room that we need right now for this offense. Gross. Oh man, who else do we have here? Oh, this trio: Jordan Howard, Travis Fulgham, gone. Half a year after being the one in Philly.
The darling.
5 weeks.
Yeah,
You know,
don't worry
I'm
about
not trading
Rager.
him.
Oh.
I'll only trade him for a first round pick.
Mm.
I'm gonna pull those ones up. Trust me. I'm building a collage of awful DMs that I've received. Peyton Barber gone
See
finally.
ya.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I remember, and I'll put myself on blast. I remember when we were doing the Friday Night Lights show for the Friday Night Lights League, which is what led to the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast.
Mm.
I am on record as saying that Peyton Barber will eat into Gibson's touches because he only had fucking 30 in college. I said it. I bought in. And I
Yep.
reversed field so fucking fast. It was unbelievable. But
You've
there
never
are
seen
still
someone turn
people.
quicker. Yeah.
I know. Especially for a guy that looks like me. Dad bought it up. There were people that bought the Peyton Barber gimmick until like week 7 and like fought to the death for it. Just unbelievable. I want to get to a couple of important ones.
There's a couple
Xavier
of keys,
Jones, Xavier Jones for the Rams, I don't really care about. He wasn't really going to be a thing. Corey Clement, don't care. Darwin Thompson, rip. I drafted you in my first dynasty startup ever. Too early because I believe the preseason hype. Fool me once. So let's get to the real ones. Okay. The Tennessee Titans traded picks
3 of
to
them
move up in the 4th round to draft Dez Fitzpatrick, and he doesn't make the fucking roster.
Yep.
I don't understand this. I don't get it. I'm hoping that they hope he clears waivers. Like, hey, we drafted him in the 4th round. There's no way anyone's going to take a chance on him.
Because I haven't seen him, yeah.
Because they got to go. He's got to be going to the practice squad. Because why else are you trading draft picks? Multiple crucial, important draft picks that they could have used on their
2 fourths and a
awful
6th or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are important rounds to draft defensive backs, special teams linebackers, defensive linemen, swing tackles, and guards. These are those late rounds are where good teams build their rosters, and they moved them for a guy that they went, fuck it.
Yeah, the Reynolds.
That's the guy. Like, ineptitude from NFL franchises isn't new. This is not a new concept. It's not a new problem. It's a problem that happens too often. Often? What is happening?
Often.
Did I go back east? Say hello to your mother for me. Forget about it. Often. Oh my God. No wonder I'm an orphan. Anyway, look, it's not new that teams are bad at football operations. We're going to trade draft capital for Julio Jones, an older wide receiver. Then we're going to trade up in the draft to lock up the position with some youth, sign a free agent receiver who is never really that good in LA. But, we're not going to keep the receiver. It's fucking bad. I understand he didn't look great through the preseason, and you didn't really hear anything about him throughout training camp, which is one of the things Matt Kelly talked about as being a real problem.
Yeah,
there's no news, right?
Yeah.
There's no news to follow. It's kind of just as bad as negative. So obviously that's something to look at, but to not even give him a chance. Like, there's no one else on that roster they could have let go. They were like, nah, we fucking 7 DBs.
Yeah.
Yep. Fuck this 4th round pick. We don't need
that guy can run. Yeah, that's cool. We'll take him. Yeah.
Oh my God. And there were so many good players drafted in the 4th round. Oh my God. Brutal. Okay. Let's talk about Jets tight ends. I want to talk about this because last week I said get Tyler Kroft, and now they have moved
everyone.
They moved everyone. Chris Herndon is now a Minnesota Viking.
Yep.
They've straight cut
Kenny Yeboah,
fantasy football.
all these guys.
Darling Yeboah, I think his name was.
Yep, Kenny. Yep.
And the man left in the room is Tyler Kroft. Zach Wilson targeted him in the red zone. That video is up on my profile, and it will be going up on FullTiltDynasty.com. You can check out every throw from that game for Zach Wilson, week 2 of the preseason. He's going to get targeted. Zach Wilson likes to target the tight ends at BYU, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. Good pickup. I mean, he should have been picked up off your waiver wire last week. Maybe he's still there. I saw some leagues where people were picking him up as fast as they could. Good move for the Jets, clearing out somebody like Herndon, who, I mean, there is nothing good about Herndon after his like semi-half breakout season. It's all been downhill. We blamed a lot of it on Gase. Turns out he just sucks at football. And so there's that.
Well, so the interesting thing here is that they've got to add someone, right? Because you can't just have one tight end on your roster in general. So, the major rumor mill is Zach Ertz.
No.
Yeah, I know, right?
Really?
So whether or not it's that,
hold on. But, who said Zach Ertz?
Oh, fantasy people, not real rumor mill. This is
then I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
you can't.
But the point is, they've got to add someone. So all of this shuffling around of tight ends is just good for Tyler Kroft because if he's like you said, if he's still there on your waivers, go and pick him up because he's the one that they use. He's the one that's still there. Just add him. Why not?
Yeah, okay, that's fair. When you said the rumor was,
no,
I thought you actually had a legitimate.
I'll tell you if Shefty says something.
Rumors. Oh my god! Stop. Zach Ertz is staying in Philly. Stop. It didn't happen. Just stop. You played yourself. Okay. Look, two more big ones that we want to talk about. Wayne Gallman in San Francisco was big because it shows that they really loved what they saw from Trey Sermon and even Elijah
Mitchell,
who wasn't cut either. Like they
Did
made
you watch any of that game this week, Tom?
I wish I could have.
Elijah Mitchell
chance yet.
Elijah Mitchell lined up on the wrong side of Trey Lance and missed a handoff and led to a sack, and they still took him.
I saw that.
Over Gallman.
I did see that.
Which is rough because he just ran the ball back and he did a decent job there, but then completely missed the snap and then stuffed up a play later.
Right, that stuff.
So they must be seeing something good.
The handoff is right. They took him late. It could be a contract thing. But Wayne Gallman is a good football player.
He's a good football player. He was
fantasy relevant when Barkley went down. And I agreed with Z2 or Z2. I'm Canadian, Z2. That Wayne Gallman should find his way to Baltimore really quickly. Yeah. But Wayne Gallman will have a job in the NFL by the time the season starts. I really believe that. I truly
Atlanta again is another perfect spot for him.
Atlanta would be a hell of an improvement over Mike Davis, in my opinion.
Massive. Yeah.
He can play football. He's going to get a job. There's just too many running backs there. And then, of course, they're going to have
Wilson
coming back off IR in the season. So really sucks for Gallman. Good player. I think he's going to find a job.
Hopefully on the better things.
Yeah. I want to talk about the most not shocking release of the day. This was Cam Newton being let go by New England. I posted a video of Cam Newton pre-snap praying and just vibing before he started calling it out. When I saw this happen, that video is also on my Bird app. When I saw that clip, when I saw him do that, I went, this guy knows. Like he knows it's coming almost. Like he kind of felt like, please let this work. Please let this be what I'm hoping. And he played well. There were some people saying that the interception was a bad throw. It was a bad decision. Great throw. Right? If Patrick Mahomes makes that throw, it's, the receiver had it ripped away from him. Lamar Jackson can't throw. Kyler Murray's the GOAT. He just needs better players.
Also, quarterbacks throw interceptions. That happens.
Quarterbacks, but it's like the receiver had it and had it taken away from him like a bum. I don't even know who the receiver. I think it was actually Myers, which sucks. But I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on it, but I think that's who it was. But the throw wasn't bad. It's just the perception was he's not as good as Mac now, which wasn't the case.
Everyone's death riding him for Mac.
Right. Yeah. 2 weeks ago, this is Cam's team, no matter what, unless they start losing, this is Cam's only. And then all of a sudden, Mac Jones comes in. And I know the one thing I want to ask you about is that if you look deeply into the Bird app, which is a dark and dangerous place that I don't often suggest doing so, but the decision by Cam to not get vaccinated. And I don't give a fuck about your political opinions.
Yeah, it's not about that. Yeah.
Don't DM me. Don't at me. I'm going to ignore it. or I'm going to send you a sarcastic GIF. I don't give a single fuck about your political opinion or your stance on vaccinations. I don't care. What I care about is Bill Belichick hinting, or it came out somehow. I can't remember how I read it. I'm going to spread football propaganda, but
Yep.
that the issue with Cam Newton missing 5 days, pissing off the Patriots, he's not following the Patriot way, which is basically get in line and shut
Yeah.
up. And that combined with Mac Jones balling the fuck out
Yeah.
as best as Mac Jones can do against some grocery baggers and a few of the ones a couple of times. We're going to talk about Mac Jones stats, what I didn't like about it in a bit. But overall, cutting Cam that only saves what 1.5, I think, on the cap
1.5 in
this
the cap.
year.
Yeah.
Not a lot. I think it was just to avoid controversy.
Well, that was the thing.
It didn't appear that Cam was Bill's guy. How do you feel about this? Do you feel like the COVID had anything to do with it, or is it just that Mac Jones looked good?
The only confusing part is like they have to have determined that having him on the roster is going to be either, like you said, negative press because there's going to be controversy on something, or he's not going to comply and be a functional teacher for Mac Jones. Because as far as I could tell, their relationship seemed fine. Why wouldn't you want to keep a veteran for 1.5 to teach a young guy how to do it if he was in that mindset? You know, Fitzpatrick led the way on how to do it with Tua last year. You know, this is a guy that was clearly there to replace you and take your job. Humbled himself with the guy, wanted to make the player better because that shows who he is, got himself another job because of it. They must have determined that that's not what Cam was there for and not what he wanted. And Cam has posted since that, you know, it's mutual parting of ways and all that sort of thing. So classic, just covering it. But I don't think it's necessarily because of vaccinations, not vaccinations, unless they kicked up a big stink about it. I know Urban Meyer came out today saying something about cuts mattering because of vaccinations. Look, again, like all this stuff, he shouldn't say that sort of thing, but at the same time, you know, it's going to matter to these franchises. Yeah.
There are things that we know that you just shouldn't say out loud. And he just said it out loud. Urban Meyer's going to be a fucking disaster in Jacksonville.
It's going to be a nightmare. Yeah.
He has just got nightmare written all over him in Jacksonville, and I don't know if I'm happy about it, sad about it. Trevor Lawrence looked fucking great in week 3. That video should be pinned to my profile at the Bird app. Go and have a watch at that if you want every throw from Trevor Lawrence in week 3's preseason against the Cowboys. Also, if you comment or at me or DM me that it was just the Cowboys, fucking do that when it's like Patrick Mahomes winning you weeks. Okay, I get it. He's a rookie and you want to see it. It doesn't matter who it was against. It matters that he progressed because he looked not good the previous weeks. Okay, he's learning, he's adjusting. That's what's important. I got that one too. Thought that was funny. And all I said was that I love when people say that because I do. Because no one says it when it's like their stud quarterback in their fantasy leagues. It's more like I fucking called it. I fucking knew. Give me a break. That's the cuts. It ate up most of the episode. One thing I do want to talk about Mac Jones a little bit more.
Yes.
Big shout out to Matty B, the new stats guy over here at Full Tilt Dynasty Podcast, working his butt off to get some of these ready for us. Look, New England Mac Jones in the preseason, 13-19, 146, almost 70% completion, 7.7 yards per attempt. His ADOT at 8.8. He was 1 carry for 3 yards.
He doesn't run. We know this. Rushing.
I believe this was just the last week. I don't think that was just his preseason. That's last week. I mean, he threw it well on his depths, right? 5 for 8 between 10 and 20 yards for 82 yards.
Yeah.
17 to 20 between the line of scrimmage at 9 yards for 130 yards. 4 for 5 at the line of scrimmage for 21 yards, and over 3 on throws past 20. That's not going to be where he eats.
Yeah.
He is the prototypical attack the middle of the field, get it medium, real short. Like, he played well I mean, I really thought he played better than I had expected. Yeah, Mac Jones. It's not surprising to me that he's the starter.
No.
It doesn't surprise me whatsoever. His A dot for the preseason jumped to 8.9 after Sunday's game.
Right.
That's a pretty good fucking improvement.
Mm.
Pretty good improvement. I want to talk about Trevor Lawrence here. Okay, as we get into the rookies, we know what rookies are starting right now, right? We have Mac Jones, we have Trevor Lawrence, and we have Zach Wilson. These are the three that are starting. So these are the three that I'm going to talk about today, and hopefully we get into some players and we can get out of here. So we're not holding you here for an hour and a half. I'm talking about Trevor Lawrence's day because boy did it impress me. It held my attention the whole time. I didn't leave for another game. Yeah. I was clipping every single throw on that drive. I just couldn't stop myself from doing it.
When you go 11 from 12, yeah.
11 to 12 for 139 yards, 2 touchdowns with an 8.4 ADOT, 11.6 yard per attempt. He used 3 for 6 on throws that were 20 plus, 3 of 6 for 91 and 1. And let me tell you, one was a dart to the sideline. He used about half, 57.1% completion on throws between 20 and 20, right? 4 completions for 55 yards. 55 yards. Speak fluently, Tom. 17 to 22 on throws between the line of scrimmage and 9 yards for 133 and 1. And he was perfect at the line of scrimmage. The only one I didn't like was the dump off to James Robinson when it didn't look like there was a reason to dump it off.
Yep.
It was just a designed play to James Robinson, where if he would have held it, Laviska Shenault was wide open in the middle. I posted that. It's in there. I did not like it. What I want to talk about with Jacksonville is their their target distribution for that game. Yeah. Targets per position, their target per position, overall. 63 to the wide receiver, 10 to the tight end, and 24 to the running back. Yep. That's good news for Shenault, Marvin Jones, and DJ Chark. This team is going to be bad, and that means they're going to throw the ball to their wide receivers. And Trevor Lawrence looked damn good throwing the ball to the wide receivers. Anything you want to point out before I move on?
I think we said it a little bit last week as well. So just to check back on Mac Jones, I said on Twitter yesterday, if you're an owner of Mac Jones, it didn't matter whether or not you thought Cam was going to start before he got dropped today, because you'd seen what you wanted from him and what you thought you could get out of him. We're going to talk a little bit about him later on. In the context of where we think he can get to. But we talked about a Kirk Cousins ceiling a little while ago, right? Yes. That's sort of what we're seeing. Yes. Someone who can proficiently hit the guys in that medium distance, move the ball, move the chains, make sure he's supporting the run game, and punch the ball into the end zone, right? Make his players relevant. That's what we're seeing. We like it. Big tick, right? Doesn't have to be special, just as a decent, serviceable quarterback, makes that offense more interesting and brings a lot of those pieces to being a little bit more relevant. What we like with T-Law and what we said last week with Trevor Lawrence was I didn't like the amount that he got pressured. He looked a little bit panicked and a little bit overwhelmed with what was happening in his face. But we saw a lot more of him this week. We saw his decision-making. We saw his tendencies and where he liked to put it. And the callers put him in a better position to execute a lot of those things, right? Like you said, though, the dump-off that didn't look amazing looked forced. I think the more confidence, the more he plays, the better that's going to be. Because he's going to,
I'll be interested to see if in season he lets that play develop.
Yeah,
because I think that was the first look. Let's get J-Rob a pass.
Yeah, whatever. I think it is just going. Let's just do bits of our offense. Yeah. It's very much just walking through the playbook, going, "This is how we're going to do it. This seems to go better." I think
I think that's something that people need to realize about the preseason is they're not out there for you.
No.
The NFL doesn't give a fuck about being out there for you. They care about getting their players touches. It's like the Kyle Pitts reception, right? The most overrated 27-yard catch in the NFL. The reason they ran that play and the reason they ran that play fucking first was to be like, look at our new shiny toy.
He wasn't going to be out there more than that snap. Yeah.
No, they literally wanted it the first play. It's like, well, he was wide open. He was wide open because he did his job, ran with the defender, made the defender choose the quarterback, and moved upfield. That was his fucking job. If Travis Kelce did that, it would be Travis Kelce is the greatest fucking tight end at getting himself wide open. ESPN would have done a 30 for 30 on it. The NFL Network would have had a special on Travis Kelce's ability to get open on a play like that. But because people are tired of hearing about Kyle Pitts, it's overrated. Who cares? He just caught one pass. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And that's part of the screaming into the Twitterverse.
The takeaway was Kyle Pitts healthy will start at tight end. Like, that's all that matters. Like,
Kyle Pitts run fast. Like, that was one catch on your fantasy team. That's what? That's 27 yards. PPR and a tight end premium. So what? That's 1.5 points for the
3.4 max.
Another 2 points for the 20 yards. Yeah. So you're getting 3.5 points, right? 4 points in some formats for one catch from a rookie tight end in 27 yards. There was the first snap of the game and a designed fucking play. And you're going to tell me that you don't think that he can do that 4 times a game? Give me a break. The mantra of he's just a tight end, there's no way he's going to do it, and he's going to disappoint is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
In one play. In a situation where he's still getting his feet, because obviously he tripped when he turned the corner. He didn't cut back in. He put his head down and ran into his blocker. He could have cut it back in, got a few more yards, probably could have got 30. Tyler, terrible human being Higbee, would have gotten like 7 yards, 9, 10 yards if he really tried hard on that play.
Yeah.
Right? And I understand. I know I was quote tweeted. And I know Austin Hooper had a big game. Enjoy your Austin Hooper in your drafts. I hope he does you well. I hope you enjoy it. I hope that he can keep fending off the other tight ends there. I get that he had the money. He's not athletic. He's just a jag. He needed the volume. He's not going to have it. Enjoy that in drafts. I'll take the guy that in tight end premium or even just PPR can net me 2.5, 2, 3 points on at any time and have a big play.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to go on a Kyle Pitts rant just now, but that really fired me up, man.
But it's interesting, right? Like,
every catch is just a catch.
Yeah, it comes from that expectation.
It just dropped.
Yeah, it comes from an expectation, though, of like Kyle Pitts has got to be this amazing athlete every single time. Like, I'm an Atlanta fan. I was like, what's he doing there on the first snap? Oh, cool, he caught the ball. Get him off the field. Like, I don't care. Like, if there was no hype or like excitement coming from me, it's like, good. Guy that we got in the first round at the 5th pick did
the
good job catching ball.
Tight end ever.
Sweet, good. Get him off the field. Like, yeah, there's no hype. There's no, pushing him down. Yeah. There's no overhype. It's just cool. There's nothing about this. Man catches ball, move on. Yeah.
And I feel like if you feel that way, you're dead inside. Like, I just feel like those are people that didn't draft him, I feel like. Right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, the people with takes on Kyle Pitts just don't care. So just leave.
This is the same thing that I said that why people hate Lamar Jackson when he does well is because you didn't draft him heading into 2018 and you missed that late season QB1 season he had.
Yeah, so
and then you still didn't draft him because he's like, there's no way he does that again. He can't throw the ball.
Yeah.
And you missed out in 2019 when he, paced the fucking league in touchdown passes. And now you overdrafted him in 2020 and he regressed like, was bound to happen. And now you just shit on him. That's how I feel that Kyle Pitts is moving towards, right? The people that shit on him, passed on him,
just
and they're going to overpay. And then maybe he doesn't,
Yeah.
Just know that I see you. I see you. And I'm not even the biggest Kyle Pitts guy there is. I'm just like a let's have fun guy.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what
let the kid play and let's have a look. Yeah.
Like, if you look at the Kyle Pitts play and I understand we're not going to get to the players thing that we've been doing because we're running time right now, but I'm enjoying this.
This is what people are talking about.
You people are too. Look, if you're going to say that the play by Kyle Pitts doesn't matter, then none of the other prospects or players should have fucking mattered in the preseason. None of them. Wipe it all out. It doesn't matter. You don't You don't panic about Chase's drops or that he looks sluggish. You don't care that Penny Sewell's getting blown up at the line. You don't care that Javonte Williams didn't play, up to standard that he had after the Minnesota Vikings game. You don't care that Drew Lock lit it up and that Teddy Bridgewater is the starting quarterback. You don't care about any of the other things that have happened. You don't care that Devontae Smith is creating hella separation in games. Like you don't care about any of it then. You just wipe it all away. If you don't care that Pitts showed out in the one play and that it was a designed play, which is all I hear. Oh, they designed targets for this player. It means they're really going to use them this way. When you talk about Laviska Shenault catching a screen pass, but then you're not going to say the same thing when Kyle Pitts, one play in the preseason in that game, in that catch, and you're going to say that it doesn't matter. You're contradicting yourself because you don't want to buy into this player, and that's take lock, and that's a problem.
Yeah, we said that last week.
You're going to miss out on his true value. Go ahead.
No, just take lock. Last week we said it. It's just toxic. Don't if you're not interested in the player, don't comment on him. Just let it be.
And there are people I respect. Dynasty Coach. The host of the Monocle podcast. Right. We got in a discussion that you should be selling Kyle Pitts all over the place because his value can't go up from here. And I disagreed.
Yeah.
I said it can go up because he's going to have one game with 2 touchdowns and he's going to go up in value. I mean, you also don't have to trade away every good player you have or your good young stud for a dependable veteran and more picks, because all of those picks are what you want a player like Kyle Pitts to be when you draft them.
Yeah.
So why are you moving them now? You can just enjoy it. I also saw that there's no chance that Kyle Pitts finishes as a top 3 tight end in the NFL this season in fantasy. Logan fucking former quarterback played 2 years of tight end. Thomas was the tight end 3, I believe, in PPR formats. I don't know about tight end premium, but and it wasn't that consistent and it wasn't that efficient. It just shows you the tight end position. Robert Tonyan was a fucking superstar at tight end for a guy that had like 50 catches and 10 touchdowns, right? On a team that had no wide receiver 2 all season and the MVP.
Guess what Atlanta
If you're telling me that a guy like Pitts, with his complete body of work as a prospect, can't come into a team that will design plays for him and directly target him, and he can take those short passes and do more with it, that he's not going to earn those targets, I think you're a fucking sociopath. And that's okay. That's fine. You can definitely think that way. I'll disagree with you. And we can talk about it. I'd love to talk about it. But that's my thoughts on it. Again, didn't expect to rant about Kyle Pitts today, but here we are.
This is where we go.
Exactly. Tom Lee, any thoughts to lock up this topic before we move on?
No, I like that. I mean, the quarterbacks are exciting, right? This is we're going to keep talking about it week after week after week because these guys are the hottest commodities. We knew it was the biggest upside from this draft class. Next week especially. But yeah, we knew coming out of this draft class, 5 of them that stood out, 5 of them in the first round, all with opportunities to start, if not at the beginning of the year or take over early in the year. And they're all, if not showing the signs that these guys are the future, like the running backs were from the year before. So it's an exciting time. And, like you said, it shouldn't be about, this is overrated and that. No, just be excited, get yourself some shares, enjoy it, and just sit back and watch. Because, these kids are balling out, and it's going to be pretty fun.
Last year, we got spoiled with rookies, period. And I think this year it's going to be a little bit more sombering for the rookies early.
Yeah.
Hang in there. It's Dynasty. Stay tight. I think we're going to do it for the program. I don't want to get into players. We were going to do the whole which player would you take for this player and which player would you take for that one. But we soaked up time because the cuts were a lot of fun to talk about today, even though it's a little depressing, to be honest. So we like to do final thoughts. And look, be on the lookout for the contest. The winner of the Aussieism bracket We're going to be going through this throughout the weeks of the season, getting your favorite Aussieism. So be on the lookout. And with that, Tom Lee, what is our Aussie slang for today?
We're adding another one. So this one takes a little bit of explaining, right?
Okay.
Over here.
I like these ones.
So this one means to leave, normally with no sign of why they've left, right? So if you're at a party and you leave all of a sudden without telling anyone, you bolted, right? You bolted from the party, right? That's fine. But in Australia, and from the English influence, we love a bit of rhyming slang, okay? So something that rhymes with one word with another. So we say in Australia, oh, he's done the Harold Holt. Okay.
Oh, I love this one.
So doing a Harold Holt is actually quite common. In 1966, Australia elected Prime Minister Harold Holt, right?
I love this.
In 1967, whilst on vacation on a beach in Victoria, Harold Holt decided he wanted to go for a swim. Actual, real Prime Minister went for a swim and got sucked into a riptide and was never seen again, right?
Right, and no one.
So our Prime Minister went missing in the ocean, and everyone's like, oh, that's just normal over here, right? So to leave without any sign or leaving any comment behind, to bolt from somewhere is now called doing a Harry or doing the Harold Holt. That is Australianisms. That is this week's doing the Harry, doing the Holt. You're bolting. That is where we're at this week. Yeah.
Why'd you give me the Harry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, where'd Tom go? Oh, mate, it's Harold Holt. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually knew about that one.
If you know the story, it makes sense. But that's the key, man.
I love it.
Imagine a president just going missing. Like
just I know our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is just gonna go swimming and just vanished. That would never happen. There'd be 27 people around him making sure that the water is fine.
Just went for a shoot in the forest, went missing. No, that's fine. We'll declare him dead and get another one. It's all right.
Exactly. Re-election.
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts for today?
No, aside from just be nicer on Twitter, or you said before, if we've got a take and you don't agree with it, don't DM me. I'm happy to take those DMs. I've got a lot of spare time on my hands. I can go through and I'm happy to block people. It doesn't affect me in the same way. But we're out here trying to put effort in, trying to put some content out there, trying to interact with people and have genuine conversations about the industry that we enjoy working in. So just ease up a little bit. We're getting towards the season. We've had a big off season, a big pre-season. It's coming up to the fun part of what should be the reward. Just ease up a little bit. And like we always say, rule number one, don't be a dick, right? Just be there. Have conversations. Have aggressive conversations. Have strong takes. Do your bets. Like you said, go to Thrive Fantasy and do your prop bets. Do them amongst mates. But just be a little bit kind of understanding that this person isn't out here to say that what you're doing is wrong and negative and shit. It's just, no, if someone has an opinion, put it out there. The more opinions we have, the better we are for it. So just get around them and enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoying fantasy football is what we came here to do, and that's what we want to do. And for me, if you liked what you heard on the show today, well, you got to let us know. If you disliked what you heard on the show today, well, you definitely got to go out of your way to let us know. If you think that there's a guest out there that would fit our program, well, guess what? You let us know, and we are going to do our best to get them onto the program with us. Lots of stuff is happening with the Full Tilt Dynasty crew. The Full Tilt Dynasty podcast is going to be in full swing. A couple of things that we have going on. Like I said, what's the spread is hopefully, if we get that finalized, going to be giving us their, hold on, I'm not going to blow it this time, lead pipe locked take of the week for their over-under win scores. It's going to be a fantastic bit of added content that you're going to get another chance to help win some money with. And as we said before, Thrive Fantasy, you can go there right now and use the promo code FULLTILT for a deposit match of $100. Get your free $100 to go put your money where your mouth is, and you can let us know about it when you do it. We'd love to hear it. One thing I always like to say is be kind to people. You never know what kind of opportunities you're going to get. There's a little bit of something going to be happening in the next week or so, a little bit of fantasy football reality, right? That your boy here will be partaking in. I got my official acceptance to the show. Not going to say much more. I'm going to let the host do it. But I'm excited to be doing that. We've got new articles out. You can go check out Big Billy FF's where he talks about Isaiah Spiller. I know Jacob's about to put out a blog shortly at fulltiltdynasty.com. And just stay positive. Be a good person. And look, I know I said earlier, like, don't DM me with this crap. You can. And I'm going to have a conversation as best as I can. Again, as long as you're not, that way, right? This is what we're doing. We're spreading positivity, spreading love. That's what we care about. That's all we care about. And propping other people up is what is most important. It's going to be a long season. And I know that everyone wants to be right. And I know that everybody wants to be the one to call it. But don't do that at the expense of other people. Right? That's what's important. Enjoy your week. We hope to see you Friday. We're going to be back on Tuesday with another giveaway contest winner, which again, at What Gives FF. Congratulations on the big win. We're going to get in touch. We're going to get you the CAD, and we're going to keep it going. Again, I'm your host with the most time on his hands. I'm Thomas Tipple FF for Tom_Lee92 and everyone else at the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast. Good night. Be safe. Have fun. And we'll see you next week.
Peace
and on
out.
Friday.